The opinions expressed by the host and guest on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
Let's get ready to rumble! Y'all ready for this?
Well, good Monday morning to everybody. This is Coffee Time with Blind United. Of course, my name is Ed, and I'm joined today. I got Miss Carol. I got my Mr. Rick, and then we got George hanging out with us this morning. So, good morning, y'all.
Good morning.
Good morning, Vietnam. How you doing?
Good morning.
All right. So anyway, I know Rick is his first time on this, so we want to welcome him to Coffee Time. George, thank you, my brother, for coming back. Miss Carol, she done worked out her technology, and she's back in here with us. So again, thank you guys for joining me.
And we have,
morning.
Mr. Davis, tell everyone that we have Florida representing, we have Texas or Texas, and then we have Cali or California. So we're bi-national or bi-coastal today.
Multi-regional.
Bi-coastal. Why? We don't like the word bi, or what's up with that?
Well, I don't have a problem with it. Here we go. See, this is why I like having George. Let me explain what we're doing today. Okay, this is about the interest groups. It's not about you, George. Okay, so
okay, now you tell me.
Okay, so anyway, on today's interest groups Monday, we have fitness with Miss Relicia Hicks at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So you want to get your little workout in, come in. Relicia will show you a nice little workout that you can, repeat throughout the week whenever you need, during whatever time period you do your workout. So come in, hang out with her, and get your workout for next 2 weeks. So
hey, you know what? That's what I like. One workout every 2 weeks. Hey, that's perfect for me.
But she works you out. I'm telling you, I'm tired when I get through. Some things I just count and I'm not even moving.
Well, see, you're supposed to apply that same workout every day for the next 2 weeks.
Okay, now you messed it up.
Or however often you work out. I mean, if you only work out once every 2 weeks, that's on you.
No, I do crunches in the morning. I do apple crunch, Captain crunch.
I know. Oh, I got it. It's okay. But anyway, come get your workout on with Relicia. More affectionately, we call her Ray. But she'll show you how to get you a nice little sweat on in about 20, 30 minutes.
Just
you know what I'm saying? You get you a nice little workout. So it's all, everybody loves it. So come check her out. And then
what time is that again, Mr. Davis? I'm sorry.
What was that?
What time was it at? I wasn't paying attention. I heard workout and I just went blank. Sorry.
6 p.m. Pacific time.
Okay, cool.
PlayStation time, whatever you want to call it.
8 o'clock my time, 7 o'clock your time.
All right, and 9 o'clock Rick's time.
And 9
I
o'clock.
can guarantee you, I'm not going to be doing 20 minutes worth of workout, getting sweating before I go to bed. So,
But you'll definitely you don't definitely want to get sweaty before you go to sleep. That's for
well,
sure.
no.
Well, it
But
depends.
Unless
Anyway,
it's for the right reason.
well, yeah, there's that too. But that's a whole different workout.
Well, this is true, and just so y'all know, we do have. My understanding is we have school kids that listen in on us in the morning.
Oh,
So,
hey.
uh,
All right.
just
Keep
before
it
we
family
get
friendly.
before we get too far out in the field,
it's called an education.
right? It's all of that at the same time. So, but
Hey,
yeah, no,
Carol.
I sure will, Rick.
thank you both. So, but anyway, yeah, no, we, man, I just want to thank you guys for coming in and joining with me today. So we do have a couple articles we're going to talk about. We got a couple things going on. It'll be, of course, you guys know we've been doing these fundraisers and award ceremonies and stuff this month. So they really, really close. Today's the cutoff for those. They've been extended for those that may want to attend. So we're going to do what we can to see about getting this out of the way right quick. Then we can move on to some other conversation. So, Brother George, if you would, please, sir.
Just technical. Something just popped up. Did you see that? Facebook. We're not streaming to Facebook.
Well, Facebook always has issues. Meta is Meta.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's not on Facebook right now. So, anyways, let's go ahead and
jump over there to YouTube and like, subscribe, all that good stuff over there. That way you don't have those issues.
So 1 second. On StreamYard end, we're having issues too. Hold on. Oh, wow. Okay, hold on 1 second. Go ahead. Keep on talking there, Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis. Can you hear me, sir?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I got a window as well.
Yeah. So keep on talking. I'll take care of it.
Okay. Yeah, it just wants you to remove it. So, but yeah. So I'm sorry, technical difficulties. That's live streaming. Rick, Carol, you guys still there with us?
I'm still here.
Okay. Well, on that note, again, we got these couple of things coming up this week. Next Sunday is actually the awards. Les Sabatnis Scholarship Award. We'll be giving out a couple $, over the next Sunday. Les was a great guy. I mean, I've said it many, many times. I don't know, I know, Carol, you probably heard it. I don't know how often I think I've told you a couple stories about him, Rick. But anyway, he was a big influence. He was a big influence in, me and the kind of person I am now, and helping me to understand this technology once I became blind. So really, really, really great guy. Gave a lot to the community out here. So it's all in his name. So anything we can do to honor him. We recently lost him last year. So just trying to do something to honor him. So again, today is a cutoff. If anybody would like to come and take part in that, it is banquet style. The banquet fee per person is $37. Blind United gets none of that money. It's all about the Rodrigo's restaurant. So that's what they charging us to have a banquet there. But if you'd like to come and hang out with us and support what we're trying to do with, giving some money away and as well, show your support that way, we'd really appreciate it. Get at me at info@blindunited.org, or you can reach out to Cheryl Thurston at cthurston774@gmail.com, or just sell your money to Blind United 2022 at Gmail. If you got Zelle, and come on and hang out with us. You still working with it over there, George? Or are we good to move on?
No, let's go ahead and go to the story, Mr. Davis, because you pretty much have the information. Yeah, we're having some technical difficulties, but neither here nor there. We're about Mr. Davis about that article or this gentleman that had received a pig kidney. So we're going to go ahead and play that, and then we'll come back after that.
The first
Hold on.
person to receive a genetically modified pig kidney transplant has died. Richard Rick Slayman, the first human to receive a genetically modified pig kidney transplant, has died almost 2 months after the procedure. Slayman, who had end-stage kidney disease, underwent the transplant in March at Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston at age 62. The hospital said in a statement on Saturday that there was no indication that his death was the result of the transplant. The transplant surgeon had said he hoped the transplant would function for at least 2 years. The Mass General transplant team is deeply saddened at the sudden passing of Mr. Rick Slayman, read the hospital statement. Mr. Slayman will forever be seen as a beacon of hope to countless transplant patients worldwide, and we are deeply grateful for his trust and willingness to advance the field of xenotransplantation. The surgery was a milestone for the field of xenotransplantation, the transplant of organs from one species to another, as a way to alleviate the organ shortage for people who need transplants. The effort to genetically modify animal organs is in hopes that the human body will not reject the foreign tissue. In a statement shared by the hospital, Slayman's family thanked his doctors. Their enormous efforts leading the xenotransplant gave our family 7 more weeks with Rick, and our memories made during that time will remain in our minds and hearts. His family said he was kind, quick-witted, and fiercely dedicated to his family, friends, and coworkers. After his transplant, Rick said that one of the reasons he underwent this procedure was to provide hope for the thousands of people who need a transplant to survive. It continued. Rick accomplished that goal, and his hope and optimism will endure forever. Last month, a 54-year-old New Jersey woman became the second person ever to have a genetically modified pig kidney transplant. More than 100,000 people in the U.S. are on the wait list for organs. Thousands die every year before they can get one. Now back to the Coffee Time crew.
Well, before I jump into that, let me acknowledge Paul in the comments. He's said good morning to all the teachers. Good morning, Paul. He's watching us on YouTube. So I remember us doing a story on this a couple months ago. I think you were on here when we did that, Carol.
Yes, I was.
Yeah, I mean, we thought it was, revolutionary and stuff like that. I mean, I hear them saying that it had, the fact that it was a pig kidney had nothing to do with his death. Of course, I mean, I don't know. I ain't no doctor. They might be just trying to say that to cover their own butt or whatever. I don't know. But I see that they got another person that just recently got one as well, I guess. So, but I mean, I'm cool with you trying to advance to help, because there's a lot of people out there waiting, and they wait a long time to get a kidney. There's a lot of people need kidneys, but I think you're going to have to get people to last a little bit more than a couple of months before people jump in line for that. I don't know.
But I mean, I'm just surprised we haven't gotten to that point yet where we could genetically, grow a kidney. I mean, we could grow babies, we could grow cats, or not cats, but goats and whatnot. So,
well, the regulation is against human stuff, though, right? I mean, that's my understanding. The cloning thing of it is, I think,
Right.
is more about not doing anything human related.
Oh, the human cloning, and So I mean, yeah, I can see that there's an ethical, because when it comes into money, we all know that money, honey, and that start corrupting, But that's another story without. But hopefully one day it'll go into kidneys and lungs and then hearts and then eyes, and then so it'll get there one day. I truly believe that.
I mean, there's again, I'm all for trying to do what we can to help the people in need. Again, especially in our community, there's a lot of kidney issues, diabetes issues. Diabetes is a major contributor to blindness.
Yes, sir.
So,
Right.
I want, not only the people get their kidneys so they ain't got to deal with that dialysis no more, but at the same time, if they get it early enough, then hopefully they can, save themselves from losing their sight. I mean, I don't, hopefully that would play into that equation some kind of way. So
What do you think there, Mr. Rick?
A couple of different things on this. First, I just want to make a clarification that I am not the Rick who died from the.
I know about to say
that. I think anything that brings awareness to these things is probably good. For the people that maybe held out a lot of hope for that, I hope that maybe they would realize that there's a lot that can be done on an individual and personal basis to A, prevent, and B, protect from some of these different failures in our bodies. Our diet and our environment play a lot into what happens there. Granted, that's not the case everywhere, but for those who can maybe make some lifestyle changes and protect themselves from having to go down this path, that would be the most ideal way. I would think. That's my personal opinion on this. I don't know. I mean, I'm going back to what you said, Ed, about the moral implications of this and cloning. I know many years ago, the heart was on display with this. Well, we probably have the technology to clone a heart, and there's that's a real gray area. If you can clone a heart, what would prevent you from cloning a human being? And that's where the problem comes, I think. As I recall, back when they cloned that sheep back, gosh, was
Dalai
it in the
Lama.
80s or somewhere? Way back.
Yeah, the Dalai Lama.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. So, yeah.
I was looking to say, I remember back in the day when, in the 80s, as for older folks, they had a huge thing about the heart transplant or even the artificial heart. So, I mean, it's advanced, there, but I just think that science will get there one day. Like someday we'll get to the moon, but that's another story. I have my stories about that one. But anyways.
But didn't someone get a baboon heart as well?
That was a story that I remember way back.
Right.
The hospital right here by me, Loma Linda, they actually put a baboon's heart in a baby,
right,
whose heart had failed.
Right.
I think that was back in maybe the 80s or the 90s that happened.
Right.
Because we had talked about that again when we were talking about this kidney transplant a couple of months back. And the question came up, and I didn't do the research. Man, is that child still alive?
Don't know.
I mean, here we're getting the follow-up. Okay, this guy passed away. They're saying it had nothing to do with the fact that it was, a pig, genetically modified pig kidney, I should say, right?
Right.
But at the same time, they also showing, well, somebody else got one as well. So, again, I'm with George. I mean, as time moves forward, they're gonna push the limits to it. I mean, and the people that, sitting there that want a kidney, and me sitting there, man, I'd love to have another set of eyeballs. You know what I'm saying? I'm being honest. I wouldn't care if they had some fish eyes, as long as they worked. I'd take them.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
As long as they work. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't want to be the first one to
they work. That's the hard part. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, that's the thing.
I wouldn't. Go ahead, George.
Well, no, like Miss Carol said, to be the first, to be done to quote unquote the guinea pig. But when it comes to the eyes, you're right. As long as they, as long as they work, it could be cowled eyes. I don't care. As long as those, they work. But the point is, it's those conversations that people need to have when it comes to the ethical side and the moral side. When people are literally dying, waiting for kidneys and livers and hearts and et cetera, et cetera. that there'd be some kind of mechanism where they could tap into to get those organs.
I agree because I mean, if you really look around, and no pun intended, there are so many dialysis centers that are just everywhere, and I'm like, oh, what is happening to where our kidneys are failing? So people need them. So
Yeah.
they've got to come up with something quickly, other
That's
than
true.
putting people on machines 3 times a week.
Well, that's the thing and it comes out to technology, and I think we're going to segue, if we can, into the next story, which would be
Well, before we go there, let me acknowledge Pedro, aka Devil, in the comments. He said, "Good morning to everybody." He also said
Pedro.
somebody got to talk
Good
to you, George,
morning.
about the moon or something. So,
what? The moon?
yeah, the moon. He said he got to talk
we'll
to
just
you.
real quick. So this is Mr. David. You're around that time when the moon came, when they had the moon, 1969.
69, yeah.
I just find it really weird. Okay. Okay, whoever's listening, put on your tin hats and your tin hats and all that. That
Tin hat.
tin hat, yeah. It's almost like 50. How many years?
Tin foil hat. I know what you're talking about.
Conspiracy theories. Yeah.
It's over 50 years, and yet we haven't have the ability to get back to the moon. I just find it very difficult to understand how 69 we could do it, but 2024 we can't do it. You would think the technology has advanced. So I don't know. I just find it very.
But who
They
said
can
we
get
can't go?
there. They can get there. If they've got a rover going to Mars, they can get to the moon.
Well, and that's why I'm asking. Who said we can't go back?
Well, have they?
Well, is there a reason to go back?
That part right there. There's no
Right.
reason to go back.
There's no reason.
There's moon pie.
Yeah,
And blue cheese too, right?
Blue cheese.
I
love
thought that
blue
was
cheese.
green cheese.
Well, whatever it is.
Green
I'll
cheese and
pass.
ham.
Yeah, pass on the
Sam,
blue
I
cheese.
am.
But anyway,
mean,
I just had, to Pedro's point, comment. I just find it that in over 50 years we haven't had the ability to get.
well, think about this, George. Okay, so I know we're just conversation. We're just going there, right?
Yeah.
They can sit there and use a telescope. They can look way out there in deep space. They can see planets, other galaxies, all this other kind of stuff, right? They can tell you what they made of, the makeup, the atmosphere, all of that, just by looking at it.
Yeah.
They went to the moon. Don't you think they got everything they need from there? They have no reason to go back until they're ready to start building a space station.
Actually, the Chinese just launched last week. They launched a module or vehicle that's going to land on the other side of the moon that doesn't hit the sun to capture or to grab soil, and because we haven't done it. So the Chinese are going to. My thing is going into the sci-fi. If they don't come back with a bug, call something else, But anyways,
I'm gonna stay right here on the planet.
Me
yeah, we
too.
got
I'm
enough
with you,
weird things
Ed.
here.
Terra Firma
Well,
is our friend.
It's nothing for me to see there
There we
until
go.
they give me some
That
eyes.
part.
No pun
it's no
intended.
sense in me.
No
No
pun
pun
intended,
intended.
right?
Yeah.
So I guess we're going to talk about technology next. This one I'm kind of interested. I haven't heard the story yet about don't buy a Windows computer. I'm kind of offended about that. But we'll go ahead and play the social media stuff, and we'll be right back after this commercial.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United.
are cordially invited to Blind United Scholarship Ceremony. Please join us in awarding 2 scholarship recipients in honor of Les Subotnick. Date: Sunday, May 19th, 2024, held at Rodrigo's Mexican Restaurant, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. and Omni-Access service goes there. Cost per person $37 in advance, which includes your meal, tax and gratuity. Deadline to turn in money, your meal selection, and beverage will be Tuesday, May 7th, 2024. You can contact Cheryl Thurston at cthurston74@gmail.com. We will see you there. Now back to the show.
Okay, well, I
I
guess he's
pushed
on
it another time. Don't blame me. I pushed it.
Well, you pushing the button. Who else I'm gonna blame?
That's not me. Okay, I try it again. Technology. Hold on. And we're talking about technology. Here we go.
You are cordially invited to the Blind United's Color Party fundraiser. When? May 25th, 2024. Time, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Cost, $15 per person in advance. Please sell payments to Blind United Incorporated at blindunited2022@gmail.com. Deadline is May 6, 2024. For more information, contact Cheryl Thurston at thurston74@gmail.com or info@blindunited.org.
Okay, well, again, please don't pay attention to the deadlines within those. Again, today is actually the deadline. Matter of fact, tomorrow you will no longer hear these commercials. We'll have some new ones for you, really. Blind United, we just trying to keep moving and keep doing stuff. I mean, you guys that live in Dallas and Texas and El Paso, I wish you guys were here because we also do some, stuff locally like the Color Party and stuff like that. We got a couple other things coming up we're getting ready to do. We got does everybody know what Sip and Paint is?
Sniffing
Sip and
paint?
paint.
Sip and Paint.
Oh, they just said sniffing
yeah.
paint. That's
Yeah.
something else.
Paint while you sip wine.
Well, that's the original concept. You have a glass of wine and, everybody gets a canvas with an image on it and then you fill it in. It's basically like a coloring book kind of situation. I mean, they don't want you to just do abstract stuff,
Right.
They give you an image to fill in. But anyway, we found a way to do that tactily. Creating that image in a tactile way to where we can do it as well. So we're calling ours a Turn It Up in Paint. So
All right. Like it.
so take that meaning any way you want, but we'll be turning it up and we'll be painting. We're going to have a nice little nacho bar and stuff like that for that as well. So, carne asada nachos. So, stuff like that, little appetizers and stuff for your admission of, what is that going to be, $30? And then we got also we have a couple bus trips to the casinos down in San Diego. So, trying to do
And
some
he's
things.
talking about all those stuff that we can't join, but
Sure we can. We need to, Rick, we need to get some tickets, plane tickets, and head on up that way. Head on up to Cali.
Rick, go too. I mean,
Somehow I always end up on the wrong coast for things. I don't know how this works out for me, but
and we could we could drink. We don't have to worry about driving. There you go.
There you go.
I don't have to worry about that
I
now.
want to
anyhow.
drive.
I mean, we ain't got to worry about that now, regardless wherever we might be. But
Or were you suggesting that I drive to the West Coast? Because that might be.
No, Rick, don't do that.
I drive by
brother.
Braille. Get over. Get over.
Right.
Mr. Rick, if you drive to California, I'll take you 4 days, if not more. Mr. David would probably know better than that.
It's going to take me a minute to get the cane long enough to reach out in front of the car so I can find my way.
Right.
So it's a minute.
All right. Just put it on the windshield wiper and just swipe back
Yeah,
and forth.
hey, there you go. The feedback is a little harder to get when you do it like that, though.
No, you just mount a windshield wiper motor right on the front of the hood, like a hood ornament, attach a cane to it. It just
I would
sweep
put a
back and
shower
forth in
on.
front of
That'll,
you.
that'll be a
So,
little more sturdier. The shower
By the way,
rod.
we do have some people watching on YouTube. I haven't checked Twitter yet, but of course,
well,
Facebook's
well,
down right
Pedro's actually down there having a conversation with you about the moon. So,
now. Oh, okay.
but anyway, yeah, we're doing all that stuff. We got some good stuff coming up. So let's jump into this article about this new chip that's coming out.
Whatever you do, don't buy a Windows laptop right now. There's a revolution in the making. Those of us who've been watching closely know that Qualcomm Snapdragon X Elite chips are rumored to be just around the corner. And they're about to ignite a bomb in the world of Windows laptops. That might sound like exaggeration at first blush, but Qualcomm has spent the better part of this year trotting around a demo unit with this chip, and the performance so far looks pretty astounding. Not only is Qualcomm claiming that its new chips will run circles around Intel's latest Core Ultra chips, but it's even pitting them against Apple's M3. That's right. There's even a significant jump in AI performance via the chip's Neural Processing Unit, NPU. If the Snapdragon X Elite chips are really as good as Qualcomm says, this could be as big of a jump as the M1 was for the MacBook Air. That means we could soon be getting Windows laptops that are as efficient, powerful, and long-lasting as Apple's MacBooks. That's a big deal. Right now, even the best of Windows alternatives struggle to keep up with something like the M3 MacBook Air. Not only does raw performance fall short of the M3, but they're not nearly as efficient. They also produce a lot more heat and drain battery life like nobody's business. And just to be clear, this is not a small gap to close. Right now, the MacBook Air lasts over twice as long as its Windows competitors, despite being close in price. The MacBook Air is completely fanless too. My point? If these upcoming Snapdragon Elite X chip laptops are really as good as we've heard, they will be a major upgrade over the current crop of even the best Windows laptops. It seems as if there will be lots of options too. Every major laptop manufacturer has signed up, including Dell, HP, Lenovo, Asus, Microsoft, and more. Rumors say the new Surface Pro 10 and Surface Laptop 6 will exclusively adopt the new chips, and some leaks have already revealed some of the new designs. It has not been announced when these other devices will roll out, but we know at least the Surface devices will likely be announced on May 20th, the day before Microsoft Build. Of course, I'm not saying that this first wave of Snapdragon X Elite laptops will necessarily be worth buying over their Intel counterparts. There's a lot we don't know, even beyond whether they live up to the performance and battery life claims. For example, Windows has a long, storied history of failing to properly support ARM chips, and although things have improved, we'll have to wait to see how committed Microsoft and Windows developers really are. There's also the question of price. We don't know how laptop manufacturers will price these new laptops, especially if they're being marketed as proper MacBook competitors. However, I do know that if you're in the market for a premium Windows laptop right now, it's worth holding off to see how it plays out. We may be on the verge of a major turning point for Windows laptops, one that could make you quickly regret buying a laptop right now. Now back to the coffee time crew.
Well, at least I don't have to say now you tell me because I didn't buy a laptop. So, but,
Okay, that's right.
but I mean, it sounds very interesting. I mean, again, technology. I mean, as time goes on, it's just going to keep evolving and evolving and evolving, and then I'm just going to let people like George and Pedro deal with it.
Now, you know, it'd be cool one of these days, Mr. Rick. The AI on your Windows computer, you could say like open up particular. Let's say you're looking for an email or a document. You just say, you know what, open up Blind United schedule for May. Boom, pop it up. You know that would be really cool.
I mean, I agree. I mean, I know he was talking to you, Rick, but I'd love to have that as well.
I think we're just around the corner from these things. I know I don't know if I told you guys that I did get my Envision glasses.
Oh wow.
And
Oh no, I didn't know
wow.
that.
yeah, it's amazing what they're capable of doing. But here we go talking about chips. The I hate to say issue because I love the glasses. I'm impressed with what I'm getting, but unfortunately, there's a lot going on, and they're slow. You've got to have patience. You know, you've got to wait for the responses. You've got to wait for, um, you know, obviously the network connection is a big factor here. So that technology, the chip technology, I think is going to be the key to a lot of this stuff.
Right,
Um,
right. And I
uh,
mean, I see exactly where you're going. It's that lag because it's got to go out to the server where the AI model is, and then
right,
gather the information. Then it's got to come back to you. Uh,
right.
uh, I mean, like you say, with this chip technology and stuff like that. Hopefully, I mean, we had an article on this a week or so back. Pedro brought to the table where Siri is getting ready to have AI. It's getting ready to be in the iPhone versus being on a server kind of situation. And
Right.
once we get to that technology, I think our responses will be a lot more uh, instantaneous.
Well, they're talking about these large language models condensing down and the storage being able to be increased on these devices to house this information locally so that so much network connectivity isn't required. But in order to process that amount of data, it's obviously going to require, more chip power to make that happen. So it's all, coming one step at a time, but
Well, and I
it's
think I heard
encouraging.
something. I think I heard something even in this article. Excuse me, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I think I heard something in this article even where with this chip. I can't remember exactly what they were
Snapdragon.
calling it. Yeah, Snapdragon chip, whatever. That when they connected AI to it, it increased its performance.
I just wonder what Mr. Rick said it and you said it, Mr. Davis's model, AI model. I wonder how she looks like.
A model.
I get it. You get it. Okay,
Yeah.
anyways. So yeah, I
I
mean,
just laugh. I don't even respond no more.
we're talking. Funny we're talking about chips and whatnot. You
Yeah.
had mentioned before, Mr. Davis, about Elon Musk doing that. Call it the wiring to your brain. Um,
Well, I
Oh,
mean,
that bionic eye?
no, that mural something that they're doing with Elon Musk. He's doing Miro scan or Miro connect or something like that. What is it
well,
called?
something like that. I mean, he's claiming that with this chip in the brain, he can
Oh, yeah. It's kind of
cure
like a monitor in your brain to connect to
right.
your
But if
computer.
supposedly you can get rid of Alzheimer's and all of and all just all kind of stuff, just basically be able to rewire your brain, whatever's going wrong, kind of thing.
Well, the reason I mentioned it because just last I think Saturday they had to discontinue that program. I guess on their I guess best way to put it is on their gaming page. The person connections, multiple connections or multiple of the wiring disconnected, so they had to stop that program for a little bit. But technology. That's technology. There's going to be bumps and you know in the
I
road.
mean,
You know?
I forget what they call them. I used to watch it too. What was that? They have a name for those kind of people. What were they?
And I'm trying to forget. What are you?
In Star Trek Next Generation, the Borg. That's what it was. The Borg.
The board. Well, it's
They
better than that. Remember the other day we had the
they
article.
were human with him. They were humans with you know
Part tech, part organic, and part tech. Yeah,
yeah,
mechanic.
they were organic with hard drives and stuff installed in them and stuff.
Remember the other day we had the article about the dead bot. I'm like,
Yeah,
wow,
yeah,
you're
yeah,
going
yeah,
after
yeah.
death
That
for
was
robots like that.
crazy.
Yeah,
Ghostbot,
ghost
Deadbot,
bot.
Ghostbots.
That sounds like a good rapper there or
You heard
DJ.
about those, Rick?
No, I didn't hear about that.
So check this out. There is actually what they're calling what is it? A digital afterlife industry. Okay, so you can take using this AI, you can take information that's online and whatever, you know what I'm saying, images and so on and so forth of a loved one, and put it into this AI, and you can create something you can interact with.
You know what I did? NPR had a news article about that. A Chinese company is doing that.
Well, there's more than just one doing it.
Well, I mean, this article
Right,
mentioned
right.
Chinese
But
company. That's all.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
That's
I'm
crazy.
I'm good with the memories and photos and all, but I don't want something I can interact with. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, I mean, the article also is George has got us all over the place today.
Yeah.
That's what you have discussions. You have to have people come in and see what we're talking about.
Right,
Man,
right,
you got to
right.
be multifaceted to function in this group. That's for sure. I mean, that's got to
There
be
you
up
go.
one thing.
So, but yeah, I mean, I can see where this one woman, she was dying of cancer or whatever. She had a young child, so she created this, thing, and then it was so that she could interact with the child after she passed, right? But it got to the point that the AI was actually starting to suggest that they meet up,
Oh
Oh,
wow.
and then so I mean, again, all I keep saying everything about these AI. I say it all the time about AI. We definitely need some guardrails, because I mean, I think that's going a little bit too far. I mean, the poor mental health system that we have here in America, we
Right.
already got people talking about people talking to them. They hear voices and stuff. You know what
I
I'm
hear
saying?
voices.
Now we have the ability to create the voice we want to hear.
Mr. Davis, I hear voices.
are you
I
I
hear
mean,
answering?
Jaws. Right now I hear Rick. I hear you.
so again, I mean, that's just I, George is amazing. But again, I don't think I want that interaction. I think it's
No.
dangerous. Uh,
But even when it's true, Mr. Davis, you're right because remember that a while back, maybe a month, 2 months ago, there was that thing about a program they had for senior citizens that were elderly, or senior citizens that were elderly. I did a double negative there. For senior citizens that live at home alone, that they have I guess a little box, I guess, and they could talk to, but for their mental health. But the problem is that if they become too dependent on that communication with that little box, there's two things that could happen. Number one, they could become where they only respond to that box, or if that box breaks, I guess they call it a robot. What happens then? What happens to their mental health? And me working with elderly individuals, I see that a lot. The isolation, the loneliness, and sometimes I'm like, wow. And it is out there. It is out there, but I, involving technology into that, it's just kind of scary, like you said, Mr. Davis.
well, I mean, but it's already involved, George. All of your smart devices, whether it's the Google one, the E one, or the S one. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? They all
That's
do
right.
that. You can play the little brain games and little trivia and all this, kind of stuff with them and interact with them. And it's almost like having a conversation or whatever. So, the only difference is with this is it's more somebody that you created, from your, like I say, a lost loved one.
yeah. No, yeah, you're right. That's I don't want to. You don't want to hear. I wouldn't. That would be
No, my
too.
I
mother's
wouldn't either.
my mother's
I wouldn't
gone. Let
either.
my mother rest. You know what I'm saying? My son is gone. Let him rest. All my they live their life and let them rest. I remember them as they were. I remember the good stuff, and move on. I don't need something I can interact with.
Now, and the thing is, so with technology, as you've seen, folks, we have all different types of technology that are advancing, and of course now with um, Miss Dave, Miss Carl, hold on, my phone's talking to me. I'm sorry, my computer. Miss Carol, you were talking about earlier about a new program, a new I guess app
It's
that
an app, uh-huh.
and
Pixie Tot.
Tixie Talk.
Pixie Tot.
Pixie.
Piccytot.
I
Pixie
gotta try
Tot.
that out. Have you tried
Tixie
it yet?
top.
No, Pixie, Piccy, like picture. That's the
Like
takeoff
picture,
on picture.
right.
Okay, Pixie talk.
Oh, I thought
Right.
you were.
Pixie
You know what I thought
Tot.
you were saying at
Uh-huh.
first, Miss Carol. I thought you were saying ZZ Top.
I've seen ZZ Top.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
See what you
I
miss
do
when I'm not
that.
here.
in the
See what
weeds
you miss when
quick,
I'm not
eh?
here. Anyways,
But I don't want to, converse like my mom's gone too. I wouldn't want to conversate with her, like with this new stuff that's going on. I honestly believe it's just isolating us even more. We already don't talk to enough humans to begin with, and when they come up with these devices, we're fragile individuals. Depending on the people, and with like you said, the mental health is just the organizations are just not out there to give everybody that needs help,
true.
and
Very true.
that these devices just isolate us even more to where we don't have human contact, and that's what we need is to just talk with one another more.
And
You got,
especially,
You're
like you
especially,
touching
say,
now,
all of these.
I think we can all agree on what I'm about to say right now is when someone transitions from sight to blindness, there's a point where they isolate, right? They I don't want to go out. My life is done. I can't do this. I can't do that. And then you
Right.
introduce technology where it kind of more impels them to stay home more. I think when that transition is more important to get out, talk to people, have that human interaction. You know.
I
Right,
agree.
right, right.
Yeah,
I
And
I
I
agree as
agree
well.
embrace the
completely.
technology because I need it, and just me, trying to learn all of these new things to do things differently. I have to rely on technology, but I still need the interaction with visual people to just make me feel sane. Because all of this, smartphone, that audio descriptive, that all of this stuff, I need interaction with visual people to make me not feel so isolated with all of these devices to where
True.
that's what I depend on, period.
Right, 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 right,
Well,
right,
by
right.
using that technology, we're already blurring the lines,
Yep.
even when we know we're using it as technology. To use it as a social thing, I think you turn the lines into shaky bridges, and I can see where that could go really wrong for some people.
Right, right.
So,
Well, I mean, keeping it 100, in my opinion, again, it also depends on the actual sighted folks interaction. I mean, depending on the level
That's
of
true
those
too.
people. I mean, if you got people that don't understand and just think we're this and think we're that, and because of our vision loss, whatever the case may be, they now treat us like we're something different than who we used to be. Uh,
Yes.
that also puts a big wedge in that. I mean, I still crave that type of interaction as well. But, again, I don't want to be parked anywhere either. I don't want to be treated, what I'm saying. I want to be included. So, you
Right.
know, that's another reason why, I mean, the technology works for us, but also, I
works
mean,
against
Blind
us too.
United works for us. I'm sorry because we still we're not in person, but we're closing that gap using technology. Like right now, we got Florida, Texas, and California. We all on here together. It's like we're sitting in the same room with each other. So we still get some interaction without the actual physical interaction,
It's,
same place, same time kind of thing, I guess.
Mr.
And
Davis,
I agree with you too on that, Ed, because I have been with visual people to where they park me like a dog. And it's
Mhm.
like, I have to kind of I'm not included in everything, but I hear it. And it's like, okay, I have to physically make myself get up to go to it, to where it's like, look, I'm not a dog. Don't just park me here. Or do you need to
Right.
go
And
to the
that,
restroom? I'm not three. Look,
you,
just tell me
you
where
know what's
everything
funny?
is.
You know what's funny, Miss Curl? They do the same thing to me. When I was younger, right? Go to a
Right,
birthday party or something. They put me in the
right.
table. So I'm thinking, okay, other people are gonna sit, and I start listening. I'm like, oh heck, they put me in a separate table. I'm like, what
Right.
the? And by the way,
That's right.
Mr. Davis, if we're on the same room, if you smell something, that wasn't me.
I'll
Anyways,
take the blame.
On that
I'll take
note,
the
I'm
blame.
glad I'm not in the room with you. Poor Miss Lulu over there trying to sleep, and you funking up the house.
no, she's over watching TV. But but
I
I'm
know
glad you
you
said
just
that.
blaming on old man, right?
There you go, the old man. But you know what, Miss Carol, I'm glad you said that because people that are watching this, and this is one of the things that we talked about in the very, 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 very first coffee time, is those people that are quote unquote sighted. They need to understand that we want to be part of the discussion. Just because we have a visual impairment does not impact our other faculties. We could talk, well, sometimes we could talk, think, and
Right.
feel. So don't, if you have someone in your family, folks, that is blind, don't segregate them. Don't make them seem, because that makes it worse.
It
You know,
does.
especially when they're young. Growing up, that's what happened to me when I was young. They'll put me in a different place. I'm like, why? With that being said, just put us within the crowd, put us within the party.
But you know
So
what, George? I'm going to agree with you, but I'm going to add one little caveat to that. I think as blind people, we know what's happening, but I don't know that the sighted people necessarily even recognize what's happening. I don't know that they always know what to say.
true,
So I think as blind people, we have to level up and make that interaction with them pleasant and rewarding so that they naturally want to migrate to us. Let's
Right.
put forth the energy to participate and make that a rewarding conversation for them so that they don't want to park us somewhere.
true, very true.
So, the job is
Yes.
already hard, but you know what? It's already hard. So what difference is one more level of hard?
And
I mean,
I
I
don't know if
agree.
this happened to you, Miss Carol or Mr. Rick. I know I talked to Mr. Davis about this, but had this happened to you? The past, I want to say 3-4 months, when me and my wife go somewhere, and you have to wait or whatever, 3 times, now it's 4 times, that they'll come and say, "Oh, sir, you want a chair?" So the last time we went to go do our taxes at our local bank, so I'm standing there with my wife. We're at the counter, and the lady comes, "Oh, here, sir, here's a chair." So I sit down. Now notice my wife is still standing up. I'm like, "What?" So I tap her. I go, "Where's your chair, Mom?" She's like, "Well, I don't have one." I go, "Well, then why do I have a chair?" She goes, "I don't know. Nobody else has one." I'm like, "Oh hell!" But the thing is, I don't know if it's because they're blind or
You
what
got
it
the
is.
label, man. You got the label.
Right.
I don't know
I
what it
mean,
is.
I mean, again, and I agree with Rick on that note. I mean, a lot of times people don't realize that they're acting different. You know what I'm saying? They don't realize that we're just regular folks. It's up to us to kind of create that awareness. Just like, I mean, as an example, let's say Carol, Rick, myself, whatever, George, we're somewhere that we're not familiar with, another family's residence or whatever the case may be. We're all sitting here. All of a sudden, next thing you know, in 15, 20 minutes, next thing you know, everybody's done migrated to the other side of the room, right?
Right.
Which is most often the case. Uh, Man, I get up and I start making my way towards them voices. Well, you need something, Ed? Yeah, I need to get over where y'all done went to because y'all left me over there by myself.
Mm,
Right.
true.
That's right.
I mean, I want to be in on the conversation too. I hear you guys over here laughing and joking and stuff.
They're talking
Uh,
about you.
well, I mean, I got thick skin. You can talk about me in my face.
Right.
True.
That's right.
True.
So, but we have to create that awareness. I mean,
Yes.
luckily in most situations with my family, they've grown up with me being blind. visually impaired. So I mean, like I said, when we're out in the restaurants and stuff now, they don't let the waitresses, waiters, whatever. Well, what does he want? Well, he's sitting right there. Ask him.
Right.
That's they just don't do that anymore. So and again, it's all about just trying to create that awareness. The more we do it, the more understanding that we have, of each other, about each other, and the more knowledgeable we can be on how to interact with each other. Because that's also a big part of it. They just don't know how to interact with us.
But at the end of the day, Mr. Wells is correct. You're right. It is up to us to hey, why this or why that, and you're right. Because sometimes we'll just take it as it is. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'll sit there and just think to myself, okay, where I should have stood up, walked over there, say, hey, what's up? What's going on? So you're right. It falls on them to be more. You're right.
I mean, when they brought you that chair, you said, okay, do I look like I need a chair?
Yeah, my wife will appreciate that. Here, honey, have a seat.
Right. Oh, you could have did that.
Is everyone else sitting? Is everyone else sitting?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I yet to understand how being blind correlates to sitting down.
I mean, don't get me wrong. When I go to my bank, they have a disabilities counter. I go right on over there and sit down. I mean, hey, I'm going to play the disability card when I can. If I don't have to go stand in line, I can go sit over here at the desk and let the teller come to me.
Yeah.
I know that's right.
I mean, I'm good with it. When I go to the airport, I get in that wheelchair and let them push me to the gate.
Me too. Board first.
I don't have to walk. Of course, I'm going to play that disability card,
Thank you.
It's funny because I had a friend of mine tell me the other day that he went to, when we went to Dallas with you, Miss Carol, that he got here in El Paso to the airport. He's like, oh, hell no. I had him bring me a chair or a wheelchair. Me and my wife, he pushed us all the way to the gate and got off the plane, got into Dallas. Oh no, I made them push me all the way to the. So yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm supposed to be flying today. I'm supposed to be riding in a wheelchair today.
Oh wow.
But no, I mean, again, it's different levels of it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I will take advantage. Why do I do it like at the airport? Number one, it's easier.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm walking with my family or something like that, okay, no problem. I got them. They know how to guide me. Boom, boom, boom. We're going to do this together. No big issue. Okay. Other than that, it's a strange area. I don't know my way around it. If I'm traveling by myself, no, put me in a wheelchair. Just take me where I need to be. Make sure I get on my plane,
Right.
Plus, I hate to say it, I'm putting that responsibility on them now to make sure I'm at my plane. I'm at the right gate, all that kind of stuff. So
I do that too, especially at the airport for sure. That way I know, hey, I'm boarding first, since I have my blind cane, and I'm taking that wheelchair. I'm going to utilize what I can, but I don't play my part all the time,
Right. I mean, but I mean, again, awareness is the key. That's something else that we got coming up in October. We have a Walk a Mile in My Shoes. This is something I've done for a few years now. Came up with this concept, something to do on White Cane Safety Day, which is in October 15th. So we'll be doing this event on the 12th in Claremont, California, out here for those that are locally. But bottom line, we bring politicians, family members, local legislators, business owners, whatever the case may be. We bring them, to this location, and we basically show them what it's like to live in our world for a minute. You know what I'm saying? We could give everybody sleep shades and give them little tasks, little simple stuff that we do. Like, come on, let me see you pour yourself a cup of water or whatever without making a mess, with your sleep shades on, or, You know, you got an iPhone? Let me see it for a minute. You know, and I turn voiceover on and turn the screen curtain on. It was okay. Now make a phone call, send a text message. You know,
Right.
you know, show them how we interact with a computer using JAWS and no mouse. You know, doing everything with keystrokes and braille displays and stuff, so they get an opportunity to see what it's like to try to read. You know, and then ultimately is the part that I love doing the most, where I always seem to make the biggest impact, is putting that sleep shade on them, giving them a cane, a quick mobility lesson, and take them for a walk. And then, you know, learn what it feels, you know, let them experience what it feels like to navigate the planet, you know, using a stick, a cane. You know, and letting that be your eyes and feeling your way, you know, around the, well, you know, we have a route set up. So what nice, I love getting them up next to a main boulevard. We right next to where we do this at, they got train tracks. So we get up on that main boulevard and then we start walking towards them train tracks. And as them cars are flying over them train tracks, blah, blah, blah. I mean, people get really, really nervous when they can't see it. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, don't get me wrong. We're not putting them in any danger. Each person actually has their own sighted guide with them that's there to protect them and keep them from hurting themselves. So, but it's just, we want them to get that experience so they understand what we're doing. What we, you know, when we had these conversations, they understand what we're talking about. When we go and come into, you know, the city council meeting and say, well, we need these audible signals, or we need this, or we need that. Now, because they've had that experience, they understand why we need it. And we've created that awareness, you know, so hopefully our community can get more of the things that we may need just to assist us in our everyday life. So, everybody, I appreciate everybody for coming in. George, Rick, Miss Carol, been a beautiful day. You guys made a great day for me today, having plenty of people to interact with. You're welcome back at any time. So anybody got anything in closing?
Nope, just everyone have a great day. And like I always say, keep remembering to keep a smile in your pursuit of happiness.
Make
Rick?
your Monday magnificent.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys as always. Stay tuned. Tomorrow's Tuesday, as what we call it, Taco Tuesday. Get your taco meat ready, and we'll be having some tacos tomorrow, hopefully, I guess. But until tomorrow, everybody have a great day. Don't forget about fitness tonight at 6 p.m. on with Relicia Hicks, and we'll talk to everybody later. Have a great day.